First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
They are accused of trying to kill their daughter by starvation, and tomorrow Brian and Shannon Gore appear in a Gloucester County court. Good evening, I'm Nicole Libas.
And I'm Andy Fox in for Tom Shad. The Gores are charged with felony child neglect and attempted murder of their daughter. There will only be one witness in tomorrow's preliminary hearing, the chief investigator with the sheriff's office. Brian and Shannon Gore in happier times, the night they decided to marry. 10 on Your Side has learned Brian Gore's mental evaluation has not been completed, and his attorney, Tim Clancy, will ask the judge for a continuance. Clancy did not return our phone call, but said this in June about his client.
Obviously, this is a difficult case, and we're trying to do, I think all parties involved, prosecution, police, defense counsel, are doing their best to investigate this matter fairly and fully, and we're still in that process.
But it appears Clancy's strategy is to show Brian Gore not mentally competent to stand trial. In May, Clancy wrote the judge, Brian Gore may be suffering from a serious psychological disturbance. His ability to understand the seriousness of the offense should be examined to determine his competency to stand trial. Brian and Shannon Gore stand accused of felony child neglect, keeping their 6-year-old daughter in a cage made out of this crib. The investigators claim they found the girl in the Gore's mobile home suffering from bed sores, severe starvation. So hungry, detectives saw the child eating the flaky skin from her forehead. In an exclusive interview last May, Shannon's mother, Karen, claimed she never knew she had a 6-year-old granddaughter, kept secret from all. She says Shannon went into human meltdown after the death of an infant son.
Why?
Have you asked her?
I've asked her.
And what does she say?
She just cries. I think she's just in total denial. I don't think she gets it.
Shannon's attorney, Ron Smith, is ready to proceed with her preliminary hearing on Tuesday. In your own mind, you can't explain it to yourself.
Of course. No, I can't. That's the black hole in this case.
The black hole in this case. Smith says this is not a case of murder or attempted murder, but he admits charges of felony child neglect will be challenging. 10 on Your Side has found out the 6-year-old victim, who is now 7, is in school. She has made a remarkable recovery. She is in foster care, and last week we are told she went to Disney World. Again, the preliminary hearing could be continued due to the complexity of this case. Nicole?
Some Chesapeake middle school students on their way to school ended up at the hospital instead. Police say their bus driver drifted onto the shoulder, overcorrected, and drove into a ditch near Hickory High School this morning. There are 45 students on the bus. A school spokesperson says 9 students went to the hospital as a precaution. The rest of the students continued on to Hickory Middle. Hampton police say another bus driver pulled into Bethel High School this morning to drop off students and lost control, hitting 6 parked cars there. Rescue crews took 3 people, including 2 students, to the hospital. Police charged the bus driver, 33-year-old Dawn McCoy, with reckless driving. They also say she didn't have her driver's license with her at the time of the accident. All of the students at a Newport News school went home early today. Denby High School didn't have power. That meant no lights or heat. A spokesperson told 10 on Your Side they waited until 10:30 this morning to dismiss the students because they were waiting to see how long it would take Dominion Virginia Power to fix the problem. Crews are working on getting the power back on there. A part had to come from Richmond. We're told Denby High School should be open tomorrow.
A Suffolk woman pulled back her curtain windows and found a bullet hole. It happened at a home on Driver Pointe Court in the Driver community. A Suffolk City spokesperson says the woman found a bullet on the floor of the house and then called police.
Virginia Beach scooped up land to stop new development around NAS Oceana. Now Hampton is following suit with the plan to buy up property around Langley Air Force Base to protect the base from another round of defense closures. 10 on Your Side's Ava Hurdle is live in Hampton tonight with that story. Ava?
Nicole, the multi-million-dollar request, part of the city's legislative package, headed to the General Assembly next month. The city wants to buy this land adjacent to Langley Air Force Base off North Olmsted Avenue, where a trailer park now sits. But one resident, Mercy Sheeley, isn't too worried about losing her home.
I don't see how it's going to protect Langley. You know what I mean? I really don't, because it's a small piece of land. Now, if he wanted to go back further and get all them woods and stuff, maybe that might help, but I don't even think them people are going to sell out.
Under the city's plan, land acquisition around Langley would involve willing owners and sellers.
It's kind of proactive in the sense that we hope that there won't be a future base closure, but this also helps us set the stage for if there is a future base closure, that they know that we're doing due diligence in earnest to, help work areas around an installation such as Langley.
He says the city is asking the state for $6 million, and Hampton would have to match that amount to buy the property. And that property sits in so-called safety zones around the base, now zoned residential and commercial. Well, live in Hampton, Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
The city says if the plan is approved, it's looking at acquiring the property around Langley in 2014 or 2015.
Well, tonight's another chance for you to hear about Hampton Roads Transit's proposal to change bus routes to save money. Officials have held public meetings in several cities in the last month about the possible changes. HRT says the reductions could save more than $4 million. Tonight's meeting runs from 6 to 8 p.m. at HRT headquarters in Victoria Boulevard in Hampton. Officials will discuss routes 115 and 102. For a complete list of the affected routes, log on to WAVY.com. And discount furniture retailer The Room Store is hoping to reorganize under bankruptcy protection. The Richmond-based company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection today. It listed $52 million in debts. Room Store has 66 stores in 8 states, including Virginia. There's a location in Virginia Beach and another in Newport News. Room Store plans to close a significant number of stores and reduce its staff and expenses during the process. No word on when the local stores will close. And a major transition in Iraq.
U.S. troops handed over the Kouslow military base to Iraqi forces. Representatives from the U.S. military and Iraqi government shook hands to seal the deal.
I'm happy for the Iraqi people that they are able to secure themselves and are looking at their best interests. I'm also very happy that we are upholding the security agreement and leaving on time.
All U.S. troops are scheduled to withdraw from Iraq by December 31st.
And back at the White House, President Obama met with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki today. The president says the end of the war means a new chapter in U.S.-Iraq relations.
Mr. Prime Minister, as we end this war, and as Iraq faces its future, the Iraqi people must know that you will not stand alone. You have a strong and enduring partner in the United States of America.
And dozens of local troops returned to Virginia Beach from Iraq today. Take a look at this. Their loved ones talked to 10 on your side about all the troops coming home from war. That's tonight on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
A kayaker rescued moments possibly from death. Tonight, you'll hear his story from the spot where he was rescued.
Remembering the Virginia Tech campus police officer shot and killed in the line of duty.
Deriek Crouse was a public servant, a warrior, a police officer, and yes, a great father, husband, son, brother, stepfather, friend, and fellow law enforcement officer.
Well, a group of Newport News police officers says it was important to go to Blacksburg.
And a Virginia teenager kidnapped in the Philippines is free after 5 months in captivity. We'll tell you how he escaped. It's fascinating. That coming up.
And to look at our cloudy skies, kind of a dreary day with the clouds. We'll get a lot more sunshine coming up. Temperatures, though, on the cool side today, only into the low 50s for the most part. We'll tell you what's ahead. We do have some warmth in our 7-day forecast. You'll see that in a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
The Supreme Court will decide whether Arizona can enforce its controversial immigration reform law. The state's Support Our Law Enforcement and Safe Neighborhoods Act prompted protest and debate when it took effect last year. Arizona argues illegal immigration creates financial hardships and safety concerns. Federal courts blocked key parts of the law, including those requiring immigrants to carry papers and allowing police to arrest suspected illegal immigrants without a warrant. Arguments could be heard in April with a final ruling by June.
A Virginia teenager escaped from his kidnappers in the Philippines after 5 months in captivity. 14-year-old Kevin Lunsman, the man right there of Lynchburg, tricked his captors by telling them he was going down to a stream to take a bath. Then he ran for his life. The Virginia teen wandered without shoes for 2 days in the jungle before villagers found him. Back in Lynchburg, his father is ecstatic.
I'm just so happy. Nobody in the world has any idea how I feel. It wasn't easy for me. It was a tough time. It was tough 5 months.
The teen, his mother, and a Filipino cousin were vacationing with relatives in July when they were kidnapped for ransom. Lunsman's mother was released in October. His cousin escaped last month. Kidnapped for ransom is common in the southern Philippines, where the government is dealing with Islamist militants and criminal gangs.
A huge fire in India destroyed more than 100 makeshift homes. The flames broke out around 2 a.m. in a New Delhi slum. So far, no deaths are reported, but look at those flames there. Firefighters say the fire could have been much worse since the shantytown is home to some 900 buildings. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Take a look at this fire at a boat warehouse in Sweden. Flames shot several feet into the air there. The smoke was so thick, officials evacuated several nearby buildings. There weren't any boats in the warehouse when the fire started, but there were several gas canisters that helped fuel the flames. No word on any injuries.
Would you give your child a Twinkie or Chips Ahoy cookies for breakfast? Well, one group found that's how much sugar is packed in some cereals you are feeding your children. We'll tell you which cereal has the most sugar when we come back.
Plus, honoring a fallen officer, how friends, family, and the Virginia Tech community remembered Officer Deriek Crouse.
It is very emotional. What's going to be hard with this one in particular is that there's going to be his children. See, I'm getting emotional now. He's going to have 5 children there, and we want them to know that he was loved and appreciated.
That's a member of the Newport News Police Pipes and Drums Band before they left this morning to play at today's funeral for fallen Virginia Tech campus police officer Deriek Crouse.
Hundreds gathered for Virginia Tech's campus today for Officer Deriek Crouse's funeral.
Bradford University student Ross Ashley shot Crouse last Thursday before taking his own life. 10 on your side's Melanie Woodrow joins us now with more on today's service for the fallen officer. Melanie?
Well, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, including what, if any, motive Ross Ashley had. But today those questions were put aside momentarily as friends and family pay tribute to Officer Deriek Crouse.
From behind Officer Crouse's flag-draped coffin, friends and loved ones shared intimate details about his life from his 18 years of Army service.
If you knew Deriek for more than 10 minutes, I'd be willing to bet that in some way or another, he put a smile on your face.
To his days in blue.
Deriek understood giving part of himself. But you cannot have service without sacrifice.
His life and his loss have touched not only Virginia Tech's campus, but the entire Commonwealth.
I've come from Richmond to express our great sorrow and grief on behalf of the 8 million fellow citizens of Virginia, and to celebrate the incredible 39 years of life of Officer Deriek Crouse.
Friday night, thousands of students gathered on Tech's drill field to light a candle and celebrate Officer Crouse's life. Governor Bob McDonnell shared some of what Deriek's brother wrote about how he was moved that night.
When thousands gathered on the drill field for the vigil in his honor, a halo could be seen surrounding the pale moon. Even the heavens lit a candle for him.
As the Virginia Tech campus mourns another loss, many here today hope to find comfort in his legacy.
We will try to lift up the memory of one who was an honored soul.
Heroes are remembered, but legends never die.
Officer Crouse's family was there today but did not speak. He is survived by a wife and 5 children. Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
Under this story on WAVY.com, you'll find complete coverage of the December 8th shooting. There's a timeline, photos, and information about a memorial fund for Officer Crouse.
Now, in high definition, your Super Dot for 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Chilly weekend as expected, chilly day today, but we do have a little more sunshine coming up in our forecast for tomorrow. And we've got some warmer weather by the end of the week. Lots of cloud cover, but no rainfall within this. And here's what's going on a bigger scale. You can see some action way out offshore of Charleston, South Carolina, and there's some scattered rain toward Oklahoma City, a little bit of snow on up into Wisconsin, but no rainfall in our part of the world. Now, I don't usually do this, but I want to highlight these right on into here. These are called isobars, areas of equal pressure, and we can pick out that there's high pressure that's going to be dominating our weather really for the next 2 days. But with this starting to weaken and lift on off coming up by Wednesday, there's where it is by Wednesday evening, we're going to start to see some of this action way on off to the west, start to move on in. And one thing to note, you saw basically a northeast wind or a northerly wind through the day coming up all the way into Wednesday, and we're going to see that a northerly breeze. But on the backside of this high, what happens is we'll see more of a southwesterly breeze, and that's going to start to warm things up for Thursday. So we got some hope that we're going to see some warmth, and we got some definite signs that we're going to see a little bit more sunshine for tomorrow. End of the week warmth, not so much in the next couple of days. We'll see that northerly breeze continue, and that big H, that high pressure area, is going to be continuing through the night and into tomorrow and into Wednesday. And we've got cloud cover right now, and that's held our temperature down during the day today, but it'll actually hold the temperature up a bit during the overnight hours. We'll just let this run and show you what's going on. A light northerly wind, lots of sunshine for the day tomorrow, lots clear skies tomorrow night. Sunshine to start the day on Wednesday, but Wednesday night we start to see a more cloud cover move back on into the area. Very, very quiet through the area right now into the upper 40s. Last night's low 44 in Norfolk. We saw some temperatures quite a bit cooler than that into some inland areas. Our high for the day, 53 degrees. Now we look at temperatures again, they're basically into the 40s to around the 50-degree mark, a little warmer, if you can call it warmer, a little less cold in North Carolina, Elizabeth City, with 53, 55 degrees at Kill Devil Hills. Now I want to show you something that we show you this time of year. Every day, radiation from sunlight is stored in the Earth's surface as heat. And again, that heat radiates upward from the sidewalk and from whatever is holding that heat. But then on clear nights, the heat is re-radiated directly back out of the Earth's atmosphere. So basically, cloudy nights block some of that heat loss and keep it within the atmosphere. Areas inland last night were a lot more clear, so they ended up with temperatures really drop on down. And tonight, I think we'll see again temperatures drop on down. We'll see temperatures drop on down basically into the mid-30s. It'll be a little closer to 40 at the water's edge tonight. During the day tomorrow, we'll see our skies clear off, lots of sunshine, 54, starting the day with sunshine on Wednesday, 53, but yahoo! Thursday, 64, slight chance of rain on Friday, 60, definitely cooler again by Saturday.
Not so sweet news for chocolate lovers. The problem that could impact your wallet and your candy stash.
And 10 on your side is there as dozens of soldiers return from war tonight at 5:30. Hear from family members who say it's time to bring all our troops home.
Hello, I'm Bob Bertrand, a contractor serving in Kabul, Afghanistan. I'd like to say happy holidays to my wife Carol and my daughter Christine in Moyock, North Carolina.
It's the most important meal of the day, but what you're eating for breakfast could have more sugar than your dessert. The Environmental Working Group reviewed 84 popular cereals. The study found Kellogg's Honey Smacks are the worst offender, nearly 56% sugar by weight.
Get out.
That's a lot of sugar. That's more sugar than a Hostess Twinkie. At 32%, 1 cup of Honey Nut Cheerios has more sugar in it than 3 Chips Ahoy cookies. Cheerios Original are only 3.6% sugar. Study found the sugar content in Kellogg's Apple Jacks 42.9%. Fruit Loops, just over 41%. That's more sugar than 2 Oreo cookies.
Yeah, we need to know which ones are the best ones to eat. I go buy those.
Well, Cheerios, the plain Cheerios.
There you go. A 10 on your side consumer alert. Enjoy your chocolate Christmas treats while you can. Industry insiders predict a 1 million ton shortage of cocoa beans within 8 years. What? Yep, that means there could be a drop in production of chocolate all over the world and a leap in the price of chocolate. You know, I say good because you aren't going to get fat or get acne. The shortage is fueled by growing demands in, get of all places, Asia.
Don't want to get fat or get acne, that's for sure. All right. One of America's most expensive cities is about to make history. Hear how residents will benefit next.
And preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. Still ahead at 5:30, which vaccinations are being stockpiled at this North Carolina plant? We'll have the answer and why you need to be concerned about that coming up. Welcome back, everyone. San Francisco will make history on January 1st. That's when it becomes the first city in the nation to top $10 an hour for the minimum wage. The city's lowest paid worker will earn $10.24 an hour. That is a 32-cent hike and $3 more than the working wage set by the federal government. San Francisco residents passed a proposition in 2003 that requires the city to increase the minimum wage each year using a formula tied to inflation and the cost of living. Workers love it, but some employers say that when you combine the minimum wage hike with the city's payroll tax, mandated Medicare stipends, and the 9 days of paid sick leave, well, it can lead to layoffs. How about that? It also has one of the highest cost of livings in the entire country. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.